everyone. My name is Jackie Murray. I'm with Ask a Tech Teacher, and I'll be your guide through these 32 lessons in the first grade technology curriculum by Structured Learning. We're on lesson 5, where this is software. Now, you kind of feel like, doesn't everyone know what software means? But I'll tell you, and you already know this, or if you're a parent, you already know it. Kids aren't using software anymore. They're using online tools. They're using add-ons and extensions and those types of things. They're not using so many going out and buying a program and installing it on their computer. But it's still a common way for educators to use software. So they will run into it in your class, and they'll want to use it at home if they have the option, if they know how. Of course, you can't do it with iPads and Chromebooks. So that's another reason why we're all getting away from software. But laptops, desktops, you can use software. So we're going to spend some time talking about software and compare it to other ways of doing it. There's some really good reasons why you want to use software, why kids want to use software that they're losing by moving to everything online. So, but first, let's look at vocabulary. Okay, installed software. What the heck does that mean? Internet connection. Aren't they always connected? Online tool, toolbar. I think we talked about that last week. Tools, toolbars. What did we talk about last week? No, symbols we talked about, kind of related to tools and toolbars. Problem solving. We're still talking about the basics, how to open and close a program, how to log on. And then here's one. They go to the internet, they're looking for the program you asked them to open, but they can't find it on wherever it is you collect internet web tools or web programs they use. And because it's software, it's not on the internet. You find it a different way. Scaffolding pre-keyboarding skills, and you're learning software versus online tool, compare and contrast, pros and cons. Common Core discusses compare and contrast a lot in their literacy standards. So this is also the way this this lesson is set up supports that way of thinking, critical thinking. So they're thinking, okay, is it this or this? And why are the traits different? So this is a very good lesson for supporting that kind of thinking with students. So what's the difference between software and an online tech tool? So, kind of think about it before you go further and look at these differences and look at the pros and cons of software. We just did it for software, but you could do it for online tools also. Think for yourself, what is the difference? And then computers require programs to complete tasks. So a computer by itself can't do anything. It's what you install on it or send it to or that sort of thing. It has to go through a program that does it. Way back in the dark ages when it was DOS, it was much more along the lines that computers would do what you told them to. You type it in and tell them what to do and they do it. But most people don't do that anymore. Most people need, if they want to do accounting, they need a program that does accounting. If they want to draw something, they need a program that lets them draw. So that's why the big idea is computers require programs to complete tasks. Pretty standard teacher prep. I don't think there's anything there out of the ordinary. Same with the assessment strategies. You continue to want them to use their annotation of the student workbooks. You want them to own those, mark them up, put their notes in there as much as they can in first grade. Do assess them on warm-up and exit tickets. You want them to walk in and see the warm-up in their student workbook, or you've put it on the class screen, and then say, okay, keyboarding practice. I'm going to start keyboarding. I'm going to practice my keyboarding. I know what tool to use because I've used it before, and get started. Not start by sitting around talking to friends till you say, class, we're ready to start. No, they're independent. They're self-directed. They get things started. So feel free to assess them on that. We do want to assess them on their problem solving, that they, instead of asking for help, they try it themselves first. So more and more, you want to assess them on that. Okay, and the rest, I think they're pretty standard, but you'll let me know. All right, so they're warming up with keyboarding. Review part, and then you're going to review parts of the computer, how they're connected, differences, discuss computer operation. This is your big chance. If you're that person who loves talking about how a computer works, this is your chance to do it. Now, keep it age appropriate, but a lot of first graders love it. If they love Legos and that sort of thing, Minecraft, they love talking about what goes into making stuff up. So just keep it age appropriate and they'll be right along with you. Then you discuss computer operations. Now discuss software. Name a few of the software programs they use in school, or ask them which ones they use at home. They may not know because they don't know the difference. So they may just name off some programs they use at home. They might, Starfall, but Starfall's not software. So then that's a great segue into this. Okay, let's talk about the difference between software and Reading Rabbit and Starfall. So why is Starfall an online tool? Why is Reading Rabbit software? And then discuss it using some of the examples that came up. These are pretty involved reasons, but you can pick the ones that apply to your group. So it makes sense. Access, how do you get on the program? From where you installed the software, it's an icon on the desktop, or does it have to go through the internet? That's a real big clue that it's an online tool, is that you have to go through the internet, and you can't go on it if the internet's down. So go through these with them and get them understanding the differences, and then ask them to fill out the software pros and cons. Some of these they won't think about. No ads. They probably won't think about that, but you will. More privacy. And point out how that is more privacy, because you're not linked up to anyone. No one can find you on software, but on the online tools they can. But on the other hand, it doesn't always stay up to date. You have to physically go in there and update it. Well, Google Drive, Google updates for you, but they don't update your Reading Rabbit program or your KidPix program. Okay, so go through those, and in their book, they have this. So they have hints of the pros and cons, but they have to be pretty good readers to get through some of these. They're not words that are really geared for their reading level. They're just to give them hints about what's going on. Great time for them to annotate and put it in their own words. I think so. So as a exit ticket, have them open up a program that you use in class, maybe your typing program or your drawing program, DanceMan Typing or Big Brown Bear, and then discuss with a neighbor, is this an online tool or is it software, and why? And come up with, what did I say, 5 reasons? I didn't say how many. So a couple reasons, whatever number you want to tell them, why it's an online tool or software before they can leave, and discuss it with their neighbor. I think that's about it. If you have more time, then we have visit websites your teacher suggests that tie into class discussion. Okay, guys, that's it. So drop by our discussion forum on the wiki if you've got questions, and I'd be happy to help you with it. I know sometimes I miss some of the things you think are really important. Maybe I go too fast sometimes when I'm going through these. I don't want to take more than 5 or 10 minutes of your time. So that might be why I seem fast at times, but I'm real happy to slow down and say it a different way or in more detail if you ask the question on the discussion board. Okay, guys, have a great week. I'll talk to you later. Bye.